So I am here today with Hal David, and I taught Hal David how to quit back in 2010, right?
That is correct.
We were talking before we got on this meeting, and you couldn't really remember, and you know what date it was, in the springtime, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And so, that's really a good sign that people can't remember even what their cutoff date was, because you probably haven't given it a thought in the last few years, huh?
Only grateful that I don't smoke anymore.
Excellent. Okay, that's really a good sign. And so you heard about it through Evergreen Hospital in Washington State, right?
That is correct.
All right. And you went through with another friend of yours. And so what are some of the things that you tried to do to quit smoking before you found nicotine solutions?
I tried the patch, and then I tried whatever the pills were that.
Oh, like Chantix or?
Yeah, Chantix. Yes.
Chantix. Okay.
Yeah.
What was it like with the patch?
I never felt anything cut me that interfered with it. I'd smoke with the patch on.
Oh, okay. Which is really bad.
Yes, it is. It's getting a real high content of nicotine in your system.
Right.
I
And
know
then,
that.
yeah. And then you said you tried Chantix. What happened with that?
That was the same. I mean, they never stopped my craving for the cigarette.
Okay.
Going down nicotine-wise in content, because I smoked Marlboro Softback, which is one of the highest ones, and I wound up with something that was like sucking air.
Yeah.
The nicotine, the difference when you're used to a heavy dose of nicotine, you don't even know it's a heavy dose of nicotine.
Exactly.
But when you go down the lower one, you figure it's tasteless.
Right.
And then putting it in a jar of water and then saving it and then opening it up and smelling it that was the thing that said, I don't want to go through this again.
Right. Yeah. And go ahead.
It was approaching that way to step down with the nicotine was I think the secret for me to stop. Because I had to stop because I was having a hip replaced.
Oh,
and a doctor wouldn't do the surgery if I didn't stop smoking. And as I was a physical therapy assistant, the last career of my time, I had to come through the hip surgery well and rehabilitate well. I mean, I had social pressures on me that were self-imposed.
right.
Because you work in that field and you got to be a success, otherwise you're telling people that what I'm doing isn't working.
Exactly. Yeah.
You see it, you're a little bit more mindful of it.
Yeah. So after you what was the difference in, like, after you quit smoking, you were still a therapist, right?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
I had retired. I retired before that.
Okay.
And we left California and moved to Kirkland and Bellevue.
Okay. And then you said, before we started recording, you said that so that your granddaughter, when you were gonna quit, she was like 8 years old. And what did she say?
She didn't believe Grandpa until, and then I asked her about it recently. Now she's 18. And she says, I don't remember saying that.
Yeah, a lot of times the people that really want you to quit the most are not always the most supportive, and you've got to
Well,
train them how to teach that.
I think she was just being honest because she knew her grandfather.
Yeah.
It,
And
granddaughters can see through grandfathers really quick.
yeah. And so and you said that nowadays you smell better,
Yes,
and what
I
else?
I don't get I don't get asked to leave the room by my wife.
That's good.
And I could share the same suitcases when we travel, share
Uh-huh.
the same closets. I wasn't allowed in the house we lived in. We had this very large walk-in closet in the master bedroom.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't allowed to put my clothes in there. I had to put them in the guest room closet down the hall.
Oh my gosh. And so you're like a pariah.
I was, yeah, exactly. And I was treated that way, and rightfully so. Who
Yeah,
wants smoke smelling clothes next to fresh smelling clothes?
exactly. Yeah.
You don't realize the fragrance and the after stink that a cigarette leaves when it gets into the smoke gets into.
Right. Yeah.
You don't
Yeah,
realize it.
exactly. And so if you were to um, give some advice that, let's say, people are viewing this and thinking about taking nicotine solutions to quit smoking, what advice would you give them?
Listen, uh, do the program. The steps that are there for a reason, and you realize it when you're going through it,
Uh-huh.
and you realize the difference and why it's set up that way. And
Oh,
to be in a group, you can sound off at your phone call meetings, and it's much, uh, it's person to person,
right.
which
Yeah.
makes it much better.
Yeah. It's
And the
very
fact that we're not in person, but I see you, you see me, and
right.
we discuss it, it really pays.
Oh, that's great. And I always I know that there are years I don't know if you still do it, but you send out I keep in touch with a lot of my students through a group called Nicarati. And sometimes and we're Facebook friends. We have been for the last 10 years. So I know that sometimes you play Santa Claus, and
That's right.
yeah, and do you still do that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And one of
Yeah,
my other friends, she dressed up like Santa Claus too. So I said that I have my claim to fame that I taught two Santa Clauses how to
that,
quit smoking.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
right. And you know how nice it is for, I can ask young women to sit on my lap, and now they'll sit there because I don't smell like a cigarette. But
that's right. All right. Well, thank you so much, Hal, for being a stellar student and for interviewing with me. And I hope this will encourage somebody to sign up for nicotine solutions and quit smoking.
absolutely, it's worth the support.
Good.
That's the one thing you don't realize
Uh-huh.
before you're going through it.
All right. Okay.
So,
Well, thank you so much. And we'll keep in touch.
yes, we will.
All
Take
right.
care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.